this is Soldier Girl, and this is my part 2 of my labor and delivery story. The little guy is like knocked out right now, so I might grab him up if he wakes up before I finish this video. I'll definitely post a week 1 postpartum video for you guys. So anyway, so this is my part 2. I decided to do a part 2 just because I felt like there was definitely some things in that I didn't elaborate more on, and I wanted to do that, but I wanted that video to be separate on its own, and a very happy moment. When we got to the hospital, I had pre-registered everything, so I didn't have to fill out any paperwork. I think there was only one thing I had to sign. They took me to my room or whatever. Had Joseph wait out in the lobby, asked me a few questions. Am I in danger? Am I safe at home? That kind of stuff, right? They hooked me up, they did my IV, they put the pressure cuff things on your legs that help in reducing blood clots. What else did they do there? They put the fetal band on my belly just to make sure that, you know, the little guy was doing okay. Did my vital signs. We were supposed to be there at 7:30, we didn't get there till 8. They were basically walking me into the operating room at 9:30 on the dot. We did a spinal where basically you lean forward over the nurse. You have to be really, really, really still. The spinal, it hurt. It burned more than anything, but it's crazy because those operating rooms are so freaking cold that it's unbelievable. And before I actually went in there, I had to pee so bad, but I didn't want them to have to unhook my IV because they had me in fluids already. I didn't want them to have to do all that, so I figured, because she did say they were going to have to put a catheter in when I went in, and so I figured I would just wait. And so I went into the operating room, and it was so cold in there, it was freezing my butt off. And as soon as they put the medication in, the spinal, it does burn, and then you have this moment where you just feel warm, you just feel really, really warm, and then you start to lose the sensation in your legs. And I immediately I wasn't cold anymore. I didn't have to pee anymore. And so, and then they transferred me from, actually, I'm trying to think if they had me walk. I had my hands to my sides. I already had one IV in this arm. And I was getting fluids, like I said. And they put oxygen on me. And I pretty much waited. They checked to see if I was numb, which I was, and I guess a matter of minutes or so, they had Joseph come in, and so he was, you know, gowned up, and he sat next to me, and we kind of just waited, and I couldn't tell when they actually started cutting me, and I don't recall if they told me when they started cutting me, but they did ask me again if I could, to make sure that I couldn't feel it, and I couldn't feel anything. And so it seemed like forever. I mean, I've had a C-section before, so I kind of know how it goes, and I watched YouTube videos of cesarean section, so I knew it would take roughly around 45 minutes for the procedure, and that's from the time they cut you open to they take the baby out to them suturing you up. I expected it would take like 45 minutes to an hour at the most. And it seemed like it just took forever for them to to get him out. Like, that literally just felt like it dragged out forever. At the time I was feeling just like woozy, kind of like not there, here but not here type of situation, where I kept telling Joseph I was just going to go to sleep. I just wanted to go to sleep. I just remember being really tired and wanting to just close my eyes and just go to sleep. And I think that's probably the one thing I don't necessarily really like about C-sections, is that it's just this whole big disconnect with what's going on, like what's supposed to be the most important, you know, time of your life, you know, to have a child. And it's like you almost kind of feel stripped of that because of not the epidural, but in some cases the epidural or the spinal or the medication, you know, you feel kind of stripped of that. And so I remember the doctor telling me that I had a lot of scar tissue from my previous cesarean, and so they were having a hard time getting in because of that. And so I was just like, okay, like I kind of was like, well, that's kind of odd because I've only had one cesarean. And so she was basically saying that because the first one was an emergency C-section, that maybe they were more aggressive, and that's why it had created so much scar tissue, and that my uterus was stuck to my abdominal wall, so that's why it was taking a long time. And so they finally got in there, and they got him out, and he started crying, and I heard him crying, and I started crying, because that's like the most beautiful sound, you know, your baby's first cry. And so I started crying, and they pulled him out, and you guys saw that clip in my part 1. I think Joseph recorded a good 10 to 15 minutes of this, just them cleaning him up and stuff. And you know, the nurse cleaned him up a little bit, showed him to me, you know, so I could see him, and I was just thinking how beautiful he was, and I was just so incredibly happy that, you know, he was healthy, he was okay, and he was out. At the same time, I just wanted to just close my eyes and just go to sleep and just, you know, wake up and it's all over and I'm in recovery. And so they got little Josiah cleaned up or whatever. They swallowed him, you know, handed him off to Joseph, and they sat there beside me as the doctors kind of finished suturing me up and such. And it got to a point where I felt like there was more tension in the room. Like it just seemed like there was more tension. Like they were having a hard time with me because my uterus wasn't contracting, it wasn't firming up. She kept saying it's not firming up, and I felt like slapping motions, like maybe they were massaging the uterus. And so they eventually had Joseph and the baby go into recovery, so they sent them out, which I guess didn't make me feel that much better, because now it was like, this is all happening to me right now, and now my support system is not here with me, and I'm here by myself. And so the doctor, she comes, she sticks her head around, and she tells me that, basically my uterus isn't contracting like it's supposed to, and that they're having a hard time. And she basically told me that she didn't suggest I have any more kids. And I was just like, kind of taken back. I was kind of taken back by that, because I felt like that's something that she should have probably told me like later after the procedure, not when I'm laying there by myself. So I immediately started crying. Like, not that I plan having more kids, because I would love to have more, but I don't have to have more. At the same time, I felt like I just feel like it was something that she should have told me at that particular time. And so yeah, so they give me a shot on one arm, and I believe it's something it was probably something that they used to help the uterus contract. And they gave me one on this arm, and then moments later they gave me one on this arm. And at the same time, I'm still hearing them trying to, they're slapping it, massaging it, or whatever they're doing to the uterus to get it to contract, and it's not working. And where I'm laying at, I can see the monitor, I can see my blood pressure. It's low. It's really low. It's like 70 or something. And I feel it. Like, I feel like I have a low blood pressure. Like, I feel tired. I feel like I just want to close my eyes and just go to sleep. And I just really felt like I was in the surgical room. Like, I went in at 9:30, and by the time they woke me out, it was 11:45. Like, I was like in there for practically a little over 2 hours, and it just felt like an eternity. I honestly felt so long, just them waiting for them to get my uterus to contract enough to put it in. And then I kept coughing, not feeling like I could breathe. I obviously could breathe, but it didn't feel like I could swallow. So as I'm getting like secretions like building up in my throat, I feel like I can't swallow them, so I'm trying to cough. And then the doctor's like, can you try not to cough, because it's building pressure down there, and it's making it hard for them to close. And because the uterus isn't contracting, it's bleeding, almost like hemorrhaging. And so I'm trying not to cough, you know, at the same time that I really feel like I'm choking. And so they eventually closed me up, and they wheeled me into recovery where Joseph and Josiah is waiting for me. And at that time, my blood pressure is still really low. It's still really low because I lost a lot of blood. They told me I lost a lot of blood. They were pumping extra fluids in me. I think they gave me 4 or 5 bags of extra fluids. And my blood pressure was low. My temperature was low. I had hypothermia, hypotension, and so they put this blanket on me. It's like it was like a blanket of air. It had little bitty squares on it, like little cubicle, and it just pumped, I guess, hot air into it to warm you up. So they put that on me for I guess maybe 15-20 minutes or so, just to get my body temperature up. And once my temperature was stabilized, they took that off. And again, they kept me there, and I don't know how long we were in recovery, for a while, waiting for my blood pressure to go up and my temp to go up. The little guy, he was perfectly fine, but it just felt like the whole situation just felt like it was really long and drawn out. And so yeah, so once a room was available, they took me to my room, and I just remember being hella thirsty. And I was so I've never been so thirsty in my flipping life. I kept asking the nurse, can I have some water? I mean, I'm not hungry, I just want something to drink. And I just feel dehydrated. And she was like, no ma'am, you're not dehydrated, you're hydrated enough. And I was like, yeah, it's because it's taking the back door. It's like taking, it's coming in through the window to be IV. When it comes to my mouth, and I would actually feel it. But I was so thirsty, I cannot wait to drink something. And so she was like, well, when we get your room, then you can probably have ice chips, because I guess their biggest concern is giving me something too soon and it causes me to vomit or throw up or whatever. And so once I got my room, I asked the nurse again down out there, could I have something to drink? Could I have some ice chips or something? So she gave me some ice chips. And I have never tasted ice chips that were so good in my life. Like, she was like, well, just try to be careful with them. Don't eat them too fast, because we don't want you to have any kind of illnesses or vomit. And so I was like, okay, but oh my gosh, I feel like I was eating them ice chips like popcorn. But I had the ice chips, and then I guess maybe an hour or so later, they were able to give me some juice. And then, and so yeah. But other than that, I feel fine. When I left the hospital, my blood pressure was back up to about 117 over, I want to say maybe 70, something like that. So other than that, I feel fine. I'm still really swollen. I'm still sore. But overall, I'm happy that everything worked out. I have a healthy baby, and I'm doing okay. So I haven't actually talked to my doctor yet, and I'm hoping that when I see her in the next couple weeks, I can ask her a few questions as far as to why perhaps my uterus wasn't contracting. I don't recall having I didn't have any issues at all with David, with my first pregnancy. I don't know why there was so much scar tissue. I don't know why she's recommending I don't have any more kids. I mean, I don't. So I have a lot of unanswered questions or whatever, and so yeah. But I did ask her what would have happened had my uterus not contracted back down, and she said I would have had to have a hysterectomy, and so that would have been very, very unfortunate. But yeah, that's my part 2 for you guys. He is still asleep. I need to wake up and feed him. So this is my little guy. Say hi, guys. Say hi. Hey. What? What? Are you tired? Are you awake? Are you awake? Huh? Huh? Chris, now he's closing his eyes. Chris, no. Say hi, guys. Say hi, YouTube family. Hi, guys. Say hi. You still hungry? Yeah? I think he's still hungry. Yeah. Mommy's gonna feed you. Hold on. Yeah, so this is my little guy. This is what makes it all worth it. Yeah. So yeah, but anyways, that's basically it. Definitely look out for my when we post postpartum video. I just have the TV all on. Let me turn the TV down. Yeah, I am pumping because my boobs are engorged, and so yeah. But anyways, that's my little guy. Can you take this out for a little bit? You can open your eyes so they can see you really fast. No? You don't want to? Huh? No? You can open your eyes? No? See, now he doesn't open his eyes. You awake? Are you awake, handsome? Yeah? Okay, there you go. Say hi, guys. Say, I'm the one that everybody's waiting for so long, huh? Yeah? I'm finished feeding you now. But anyways, you guys, so that's it for now. I'll leave it there, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Then, guys. Come on, here you go. Here you go. Here you go.